Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of the Inner Health Project. I was about to say the Hannah Getty Show or something. I don't know what I was going to say, Hannah. Woo, jazz hands. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Hannah, and Hannah, we are on a roll here. We just ended recording the last episode, and now we're going to record this one about how to protect ourselves from negative energy.
Yes.
Wow, you said it very enthusiastically. Like, how did this come about?
Oh, I mean, I run into it a lot. And
in massage?
So, I don't want to say people have a lot of negative energies connected to them, but just protecting yourself from other people's baggage, other people's emotions.
Right.
Because as a massage therapist, I'm with a client for at least an hour and I'm in their space. And people have a lot of things going on in their life. So it is something that I do physically feel, or I do emotionally feel sometimes. If I don't prepare myself for a session with clients, or with just being out in the world with people, I can pick up on their stuff, and it'll affect me a little bit, whether it's I feel drained, or I feel pain in the body, or I just feel I don't know, sad, sometimes maybe sad, or I just can't get that person's stuff out of my space.
Yeah.
Then I know, like, okay, I've kind of absorbed other people's stuff and I need to cleanse myself of it. I need to get rid of it. So
I would imagine that, so obviously there are ways to cleanse it, get rid of it once you've acquired it, but there's also ways to sort of protect us from absorbing as much of it. Like there's like offensive and defensive ways to kind of like protect ourselves from negative energy. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Right. So what I've learned to do for myself is setting up my space, and that can be a physical space, that can be the space in your head, that could be your emotional space.
Yeah.
For when I'm working with clients, I kind of have to put my stuff in a box and push it away so I don't transfer anything to them.
Right.
And I also have to set myself up so I'm not absorbing their stuff. So usually I will walk around the treatment room in the morning, in the beginning, and kind of say, okay, I'm clearing the space. All, negative energy or anything that doesn't serve me can be transmuted into the light, and I just kind of breathe through it, and every breath is like letting it out, clearing the space. And it sounds kind of maybe funny to somebody who might not do it, but it helps me because it's very symbolic. So I'm physically in the space that I'm saying I'm gonna honor this place for other people to come in and do their own healing, and I want to clear it for them and make it the most inviting. And then after I do that, I will kind of imagine this white light, a bubble or an egg surrounding me everywhere, like my aura it's being protected by this white bubble. And I just say, that my energy will stay with me and their energy will stay with them. And anything that is released during the session will just be transmuted back into the light, or it'll just, I imagine it just floating off in the space, outside into the sun. So I do a lot of imagination and a lot of movement with it and a lot of breath with it, just to prepare myself and clear the space and I do that.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I felt like I was getting like a lesson from a guru about how to protect your energy. I was like backstage, with somebody that knew how to do that kind of stuff. That's so cool.
Yeah, and I didn't make a lot of the stuff up. I mean, I picked up things throughout from other people and what they do. Of course. And actually after the session, somebody had said to me, well, you can also say, whoever it is, you could say their name, client, I'm sending back to you all of your energy with love. And it just is a way to end the energetic field or the session and say goodbye to them with no judgment, but with just love.
Yeah.
So
is that, sorry, professional side note, is that common for massage therapists to sort of prepare the room that way? Do you know? Is that widely taught?
I don't know. In school we were taught that you can pick up on energies.
Right.
They didn't really promote us to clear the space. I know some people like to burn sage.
Yeah.
That kind of helps clear the space.
I think, do you
it's
tell
just
people?
Up to each person.
Do you tell people that you prepare the room that way?
No, I don't. This is actually the first time I've said anything about it.
I think you should tell people, because I feel like that's I'm listening to it going like, oh my gosh, that's so cool that you've prepared this space for me to come in, and I feel like I'm getting more out of, not only I'm not just getting more out of the massage, but I feel like you're aware of and intentional about my energy, right?
Yeah.
Which I love. And I think that's value add. Like, I think there's a lot of people who I don't know. I'm not a massage therapist, and I haven't interviewed my massage therapist. Like, did you clear this room before I walked in here?
Well, do you feel like, I know for me, sometimes I walk into a space and I can just feel, other things that are maybe not so, it doesn't feel light. Maybe it feels more heavy. And I never want a client to walk into a space like that. I want them to feel like it's a clean slate. It's just for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you ever walked into a room to get a massage and you felt it didn't feel the lightest or didn't feel calm for you?
Yeah, I think I don't know if that would have. I'm just trying to compare like different massages. There are places where I've walked in, it's very spa-like, and so I walk in and I feel very at ease. And then there are other places I've gone where it just feels more like punch a clock. I'm in, I'm out, and like maybe the massage person had stuff on their mind, or maybe they were, I don't know. But as you describe it, I'm like, maybe that was part of that. Maybe that was part of the space. And
I try to just be very present for people. During that session. So
so cool. Right. Well, what did we already go through? I know you have some like specific steps. Did we already go through those?
No.
Okay. Because I heard you said the white light thing, and I feel like that was one of your steps, but
it is. It all got jumbled up. Like I had a list, and now it's.
Well, we're going to make this list for you listeners. Like, we're going to make this like sequential, so you can kind of listen for the 6 steps, or 6 of them here. And you can just kind of listen for like, these are some ways to protect your energy. Yes. Yes.
So first, I'd say to take a deep breath, to breathe, to calm yourself down, and become present. If you're, say you're having a conversation with somebody, maybe you feel a little nervous, or and you don't know, maybe is this my nerves or is it their nerves that I'm picking up on? I would say just take a deep breath. They're not really going to notice if you stop talking for a few seconds and just sink into your body. So first, take a deep breath and be aware and be present. And notice how you're feeling. Do you feel anxious? Do you feel heavy? Do you feel light? Do you feel whatever you're feeling? Just take note of that. And it's bringing more awareness to what's going on in your body, in your emotions.
Yeah.
In your field.
In your field of energy.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you do find that you've taken on somebody else's energy or their stuff, or maybe you don't know for sure and you're trying to figure it out, what really helps me is to write it out, write things down, write how I'm feeling, just stream of consciousness, just write it out, journal, or talking to somebody else to get a different perspective on things, because they might have you're kind of stuck in your head, you're stuck in the situation, and having a different view on the situation you're in can really help you suss out what's going on and how if it's really yours or if it's theirs. So,
right. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Let me look at my notes real quick.
Yeah. Well, so one was to, just while you do that, one was to reflect, right? Take a deep breath. Step 2 is talk it out, write it out, get it out of your head, which is where you just went. That was step 2. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Perfect.
And then 3 is take back your power.
Take back the power.
Yes. So, and that could be to do that to setting up, like you're going to go on a conversation, go to have a conversation, and you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up so you don't take on energy. Or this can be, after you've had a conversation and maybe you picked up on someone's energy. I'd say taking back your powers is like setting boundaries for between you and other people. And maybe not putting so much extra time into something that you feel isn't serving you, or it doesn't feel the greatest. I mean, you don't have to say yes to everything. You can say no to people. You can, if it's not gonna work for you, if you don't feel light, it doesn't feel light, if it doesn't feel joyous, if it doesn't flow, I'd say, you can say no. You don't have to be in that conversation, be in that relationship, do whatever. You can separate yourself from people too. You don't isolate yourself, but you can put a little bit of space in between yourself and them.
It's so good. Taking back the power by setting boundaries is so good, because I think a lot of times without the boundaries set, this is a fresh lesson for me, where I realize, like, you can just wake up in a day and start going about your day. And if you never set the boundary at the beginning, all sorts of stuff is let in, right? Like you're not able to, I call it setting the frame. But if you don't set the frame for your day, then you go out in your day, like you're susceptible to a lot of things that can take you sideways in a snap, and you're like, man, like that was a rough day.
Right. Yeah.
Versus if I just set the frame, the day just goes down a lot different. I take back the power before the day ever started.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And that's kind of like how I set the frame when I'm, imagining this white bubble around me. This is my boundary. This is my space. This is going to protect me.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
You might have to figure out what works for you. Like you can try my bubble idea. You can try setting the frame, or try something else that maybe you have to say a prayer first, or maybe you have to do some meditation or some yoga, whatever helps you stand in your power and set those boundaries. Totally.
Yeah. I didn't learn that lesson until way late in life, like standing in my power. There were moments I had where I felt really powerful, but I never set the frame to have that every day. Yeah. So.
And with this show, I would say I feel a little more vulnerable, and I'm learning how to set those boundaries in a different way, because I want to be open to people, and I want them to see me. But then what I'm struggling with is, where do I draw that line of here's me being open and vulnerable, but how do I also protect myself from those energies that I don't want to get in, that shouldn't be there, that aren't going to serve me. So
it's really good.
All a journey. We're all learning. Yeah. And this is, I picked this topic because it's kind of what I'm going through at the moment. And so I just wanted to share that with other people as well. So.
Yeah. Well, so if you guys lost count, right? Number 3 is take your power back. Number 4 is the imagine the bubble of white light. Yes.
Oh yes. There we go.
Yeah.
Or whatever you need to do to set your frame.
Set your frame. Okay. Right. Good. And then 5, we didn't touch 5 yet. I don't think, did we?
Well, clear your space. So I kind of shared that with you, clearing maybe your physical space, clearing your mind, clearing the emotions. Maybe you need to go have some energy work done.
Right.
Like Reiki or healing touch. Those are great ways of clearing the energies from you. Massage can also do that. It's just in a little different way.
Yeah.
So just cleansing and clearing, maybe even just taking a shower. I mean, sometimes people need real concrete physical things like as symbolism to help clear the day away, right? Maybe you've had a long day at work, you've dealt with a lot of people, and you just feel grimy. You just feel like you've got so much energy hanging on you. And if you hop in the shower and you have this intention of, okay, the water is just washing away, it's clearing my space, I'm being cleansed, and you just when you have those intentions, it really does help let those energies go.
So good. Yeah.
So,
Good. Okay. And then the last one, number 6.
Oh, yeah. So give yourself some grace and don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself if you've picked up on somebody else's energy. Don't judge yourself if you don't know how to do it to protect yourself right away. I mean, this is all a learning experience, and you can't get down on yourself because you didn't know what you didn't know, or you weren't aware of the things that you could do to protect or to keep these energies out of your field. So just I'm guilty of it myself. I'm pretty hard on myself, and I have to keep reminding myself that you're human and you're learning, and because you became aware of it, you know, that's half of it there. So the judgment just has to go. Let's just let that go.
Yeah. So good. It's, it is I would just say it's such a gift for others to lead in vulnerability, right? Like that's the thing is, we're all on our journey. Nobody has it completely figured out. Right. Like, and so it's just cool that you're willing to share vulnerably, right? Even though you're also trying to like have the boundary and like how much do I let in, but I also want you to be open. Because when you do it, when you're vulnerable, it gives us permission to be vulnerable. And I think that's part of this journey of inner health is getting to the place where we're comfortable in our own skin. Like we're comfortable with who we are. And I just think that there's a direct link to vulnerability and not right? Because the opposite of that is like so protected that I'm trying to not get hurt. And then everything is really stressful. And because of that, Right.
And you're running on fear. You're not running on love.
Right.
And
it's
loving to yourself.
Yes.
To also feel safe and to protect yourself. It's right. But there is a balance, and you have to, like you said, you don't want to go to the extreme one way or the other.
Right.
So I think that middle point that we're all trying to figure out, that's where we learn the most, and that's where we figure out what's going to work best for us this day, this time, with this person.
So good. Well, if people listening to this want to clear out their energy and they need a massage, right? Or they'd like to connect with you in this conversation and talk more about what they are learning, or just connect with you because you're a cool human. Where do people go? How can people reach you?
You can go to innerhealthproject.com and you can watch all the latest videos there. You can also, there's a link to my business website. You can connect with me there, or you can search on YouTube and Facebook. There's an Inner Health Project Facebook group, so you can join that and you can be a part of the conversation.
Nice.
And yes, I'd love to hear from everyone.
So good. All right. Thanks, Hannah. Great stuff today. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for all that you're sharing with the world.
Thanks.
Bye.